Okay. Am I on? Okay. Welcome to part 3 of communication skills. And we are going to talk about listening and communication skills. When is it hard to listen? Page 13. Yeah, top of the page. Top of the morning to you. Yes, but it's for online. So I was trying to guess what you might say, and I got some of them, but I didn't get all of them. So I'm going to tell you what the ones I came up with, and then I'm going to add the ones you said that I didn't think of. So next time I teach it, I'll have 2 slides of all the reasons. So when is it hard to listen? When you don't agree. I found that very difficult when I said to the counselor, I can't just sit there and agree with someone that I don't agree with. I found it very hard to listen. When you're tired and they go on and on. When you're not interested, when somebody's talking to me about computer skills that I have no idea what they're talking about. The language is over my head, and I'm really not interested. It's difficult to listen. They go on and on and on. Like somebody said, monotone. When it's hard to hear, when there's all this distraction and noise, and it's hard to physically listen to them. When your mind is on other things, you're so busy thinking about what you need to get done, it's hard to listen. When you're thinking about what to say, see, I had troubles with this, so I would make a little note, because I'd listen to Bob, and I knew I had to repeat back to him what he was saying, and if I didn't get it right, then he would get to say it all over again, and 2, 3, 4 times. It's like, oh, I didn't like that. Yeah, broken record. Yeah, but when I could repeat back to him what he's saying, and then he would say, yeah, that's what I'm saying, it's like, oh, good. But it was hard for me to listen, because he would bring up things that I'm thinking, yeah, when it's my turn, I want to say that. So it helped when I made a note, and I'd make a little note about things, and then later I could go back to my notes. When they have bad breath. Have you ever had that? Like someone just ate a pound of garlic, and you're trying to talk. Yeah, yeah. We all had garlic sausage. Yeah, where's the breath? Yeah, thanks, Renata, for the garlic sausage. Now I have bad breath. Oh,
That's not bad breath, though.
oh,
That's what you ate, but
okay.
talking bad breath.
Very bad breath, yes. Or when you're thinking about things that you want to get done. So a couple things that other people mentioned is when they're pointing the finger at you, like when you feel really condemned and judgmental. I didn't think of that. Somebody else said when there's a language barrier, like maybe English is their second language, and it's hard to listen, or if you're getting triggered, like you're getting angry, or if there's more than one conversation going on at the same time, and or if they're not being sensitive.
Language barrier can also include the cross-gender language barrier.
Yes. Tell me about that, brother. The language barrier between male and female. Oh, yeah. Like, I remember talking to our counselor, and I said I have trouble with that. And I said, For example, I'll say to Bob, oh, honey, Saturday is supposed to be a sunny day, and, why don't we take the children, let's go to White Rock, let's have a picnic or something. And he'll say, yes. Okay. Yes, I promise.
That's a few days earlier.
So then Friday comes around, and he gets a phone call. Hey, buddy, pal, how you doing, man? Hey, tomorrow's a beautiful day. Let's go golfing. I'll even buy you lunch. And then he's gone golfing.
Pick me up.
Now I'm mad. And now I say, you promised me that on Saturday we would have a family day. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Just a minute here. I never promised anything. To me, yes meant I promise. To him, yes meant, yes, that's a good idea.
Maybe we could.
Yes, we might do that if something better doesn't come along, right? Like even what's the definition of yes? I don't know. Like this male, female, gender, yeah. I could tell you many stories about that. That's why you have to clarify. Yes.
When people are talking down to you, too.
Yes, when people are talking down. I know, condemnation. Yes. See, I got to add to this list here. Good job. Condemnation. Yes.
We're good students, eh, Ellen?
Oh, I love you. And make sure you fill out the form in the very last page of evaluations. Hang on 1 minute. Yes, Penny?
When somebody doesn't get to the point,
Yes.
trying to listen, but they're
Oh,
not getting to the bottom line.
I know.
And years ago, I've taken a lot of communication in the past, and they said, and it's taught, get to the bottom line first.
Yeah.
And then fill in the details.
That's right.
If there's time, if the
Yeah.
person wants to hear it.
Right. Get to the bottom line. Yeah, when they go on and they beat around the bush and
You're waiting for the point.
yeah, it's like telling a joke and there's no punchline. It's like, what's the point here?
When you're being yelled at.
Oh, yes, when you're being yelled at. I know. I will actually say to people, you know what? Well, it depends who, but okay, for example, my brother, I would just say to him, you know what? I'm not going to talk to you right now. When you can calm down your voice and stop calling me names and swearing at me, then I'll talk to you. Because I can't listen to people that, like that condemnation that you're saying. You had a question?
When you're feeling overwhelmed.
Yes, overwhelmed, yeah.
Another one is if someone's talking kind of crude or lewd.
Yes, oh, I know, like
You
the,
can't listen to that.
no, like
Swearing.
the swearing and the name calling, I can't handle that. I know, it's very difficult to. So 3 choices when listening. So number 1, you can get defensive. So I told you earlier that my students would say to me, your teaching sucks. Well, I could try to convince them otherwise. Oh, don't say that. Like, you know how many books I have to read and how hard I work. And, when you get defensive, you're trying to convince them, no. Like, don't say that. So you can get defensive and take it personally. You can get judgmental. Oh, is that so? My teaching sucks? Well, honey, if you think you can do any better, you just be my guest and you just come up here and let's see what kind of job you can do. Right? So you get judgmental and you start pointing the finger at them. But the best way, is to be curious. I don't quite understand what you mean when you say that my teaching sucks. Is it the way I teach? Is it the material that I teach? So you ask them questions. So what I do is ever since in 1997 when I started teaching, for my jobs, they always had evaluations. And I would take a deep breath, say a prayer, help me, Jesus. And I would read those evaluations. And you know what? My students taught me how to be a better teacher. And so now I love evaluations. Because even last time, somebody gave me, well, a few different people gave me some really good advice. And one person said to me, you need to have more breaks. And so today, I had more breaks. And people are saying, yeah, thank you. See? So I listen, I read, and I do what you say, and you're my teachers. You teach me how to do a better job. And that's because I'm curious. And that's why I like you putting your name, because if you say something that I don't quite understand what you mean by that, then I can ask you, can you explain that to me? So I'm not getting defensive. I'm not being judgmental. I'm just curious. Can you explain to me what you mean by that? I don't quite understand. And so that's the best way to listen.
How do you deal with it when someone wants to talk to you about something that's inappropriate or gossip or, they're bad mouthing?
Yeah, I just tell them, like, when people want to use your ear as a garbage dump, and they have nothing good to say about something. I experienced that a lot for 11 and a half years. I was a corporate chaplain, and I went to different businesses, and I heard lots of garbage all the time. Number one, I prayed that God would help me not have a bad attitude about that person. So, if Mary came to me and she's mad at Amanda, then when I see Amanda, I don't want to be mad at Amanda. Like I don't want to bring on somebody else's grievance to that person. So I prayed and I asked the Lord for grace. Help me not to carry their burden that now I'm mad at Amanda, right? And the other thing is I would say to Mary, okay, Mary, did you go talk to Amanda about that? And I remember one time Bob and I were having a conversation with somebody, and they were really bad-mouthing someone. And Bob says, okay, can you hold that thought? I'm just going to phone that person, and I want you to tell them what you're telling me. And they said no. And they said, okay, if you won't tell them, then don't tell me. So you have to set a boundary and just say to people, like, if their motive is just to gossip, I won't listen to it. If the motive is, okay, you're going to talk to them, right? And you're going to, I remember one time this lady, she kept nagging about the HR manager, and I kept saying, you need to talk to him, And so one time I'm in the lunchroom, and again, same old verbal diarrhea, and I looked up, and behind her, walking towards me, was the HR manager. And really loud, I said, you know what, so-and-so, you really need to talk to so-and-so. Oh, here he is. Look at this. Hey, so-and-so. So-and-so wants to talk to you. See you later. And I totally set her up because I was so tired of listening to this griping, complaining when she was not willing to tell her. I totally set her up, You had a comment, or? Yeah?
I was going to say, in regards to your relationships, like with your husband or your boyfriend or whatever,
Yeah.
you have to be careful not to share it with too many people.
Mm-hmm.
Because those people will have, judge.
Yes.
It would be very difficult for your marriage to.
Yeah.
Sorry, one more
So-
time, please. I think I should start using the mic more here.
So when you're dealing with
Thank you.
people that have problems with their relationships, like I tell my daughter, just talk to one person. And maybe you need to vent or a counselor, but if
Yeah.
you share it with everybody,
Yeah.
then they judge that person. So it's very hard for that relationship.
Yeah, and right, and now we read earlier, there's 6 things, no, 7 things that are an abomination. That's pretty heavy words. So God hates gossip. He hates us sowing seeds of discord. And so it all comes down to motive. So if you really need to talk to somebody, have one person that you talk to and make sure they're confidential. And, you know, I really love talking to the counselor because he would give me good ideas. I mean, sometimes he made me mad. Like he'd say to me, don't complain to me about your husband. Like, you totally encourage him to treat him like that. Oh, that made me mad. Like, I didn't like hearing that. But you know what? It was true. Like, I was enabling. And so I really love counseling because they have good ideas in how to turn it around. And I've vented a lot to the Lord. And I wrote lots of journal. And you got to get it out of you. Like, you and I, we're not fooling anyone trying to say, how are you doing? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm ready to punch you in the nose, but that's okay. You know, we're not fooling anyone. You know, God sees the heart. So let's be real. Let's dig it up. It's really interesting. Luke chapter 6, I think it's, well, let me read it. It's a little off topic, but it actually, it really ministered to me. I was just reading it in my devotional. Luke, Matthew, Mark. You know what? After the break, I will find it. Thought maybe it was Luke 12. Not right now. We're not having a break right now. No,
Dave is
no.
happy to know there's another break coming.
Oh yeah, he's happy to know there's another break. Yeah.
Breaks can
Oh, I love you too, brother. You know what? I'm going to find it later, and then I'll talk to you about that. So, benefits of listening. There are lots of benefits of listening. Number one, you can learn something. Yes, you can learn new things. You can only learn when you're listening, not talking. Good point to remember. You can come to a mutual agreement. This is called win-win, not win-lose. Number three, better relationships and cooperation. We like cooperation. When everybody feels that you are truly interested in their thoughts and in their feelings and in their opinions, they are more likely to respond with trust, respect, and cooperation. Build a safe environment. You know, people know when they come to Bob and I, we're not going to, we're confidential, and it stays with us. And when I was at chaplaincy, that was the number one skill that I had to have. Stay confidential. Don't go telling everybody else. And you know, it was interesting because I got my mom, she loved to pray. She would be praying for all my clients. I had like 200 clients. And my boss found out that my mom was praying for the students. Not students, clients. And he was very concerned about confidentiality. And I said, you know what I did? I said, I switched the names. I said, she thinks she's praying for Mary, when really it's Martha or whatever, you know? And so I had a cheat sheet, because my mom would say, oh, how's Mary doing? You know, did she get healed yet of that illness? And I'm thinking, Mary, who's Mary? You know, so I had a little cheat sheet of who Mary was, right?
I think God was having fun with
I
that.
think God was having fun. I mean, she didn't
Didn't
know
mess him up.
that the names that I gave her were not the correct names. But when I told people that, you know what, my mom is praying for you every day, some people would cry. They'd burst out in tears to think that somebody was praying for them every day. It just meant so much. And I know that the success was because I had a mama praying for all those people. It was just amazing, the miracles that happen. Better relationships and cooperation. Number 4, it improves decision-making ability. We can benefit from other people's experience, and we can learn from other people. Number 5, it gives you time to think before speaking. Listening first prevents us from saying or doing something that we might regret later. So page 14. 5 listening skills. Number 1, ask open-ended questions. Who, what, where, why, how. Ask questions where the answer isn't just a yes or no. If you really want to listen to somebody, learn to ask open-ended questions. Number 2, repeat the words mentally. When I meet somebody for the first time, I've been working on remembering names. And so there was this lady at the gym. I've known her for like 30 years, maybe. We used to go to the same gym together. And I saw her again the other day, and I said, I'm so sorry, I can't remember your name. And she says, I can't remember your name either, so, right on, And so I said, you got to tell me your name again. And so she told me her name again, and I kept repeating it mentally in my head to help me remember the name. And I tried to relate it to somebody else I know that has the same name. So if you, just work on trying to mentally repeat back to yourself what that person is saying to be listening. Acknowledge and pay attention. So eliminate distractions to pay attention. Number 4, paraphrase. Oh yeah, easier said than done. Paraphrase. So what you're saying is blah, blah, blah? No, that's not what I'm saying. Okay, say it again. No, no, no. Okay, so what you're saying is, yeah, okay, all right. And it's, what a gift when somebody can repeat back to you what you just said. Oh, you were listening to me. Oh, what a gift. And with Bob and I, even though we knew that we didn't agree, that's okay. You know what? You understand. You can repeat back how I feel. That's wonderful. And when you're working on solving problems, that's number 1. Listen and repeat back, paraphrase to them what they said so that they know that you listened. That's step 1. And some people, they just can't do that. It's too hard. But that's step 1 in changing problems. And respond appropriately. If it's happy or sad news, respond appropriately. Anger. Woohoo! Praise the Lord for anger, right? Be angry and sin not. How do you do that? Anger is a response to an attack on one's personal domain. So anger is a form of injustice. That's not fair. And you get angry about it. Gotta go back? Sorry. I heard that.
Get angry, Deb.
Yeah, I won't get angry. So angry is a response to an attack on one's personal domain. Other, may I please? Thank you. Why do people get angry? Well, lots of reasons. Number 1, a feeling of powerlessness. People act defensively from a feeling of powerlessness. They just act out of control. Number 2, a build-up. Oh, yeah. A build-up from not asserting themselves repeatedly. This is called a pool of anger. This is where you've met some people and they're like angry all the time. Well, there's things since they were like a baby, you know, that they never dealt with. So they're like angry all the time. It's a buildup of them not asserting themselves repeatedly.
There's also like the volcano though, they hold it,
Yeah.
and then they erupt.
That's what I did. Volcano. Oh yeah, when the carpet got ripped out of my life, yeah, volcano
We went to
explode.
laminate floors.
Now we have laminate floors. Yes, we have no more carpet in our house.
Wasn't worth it.
Yeah, wasn't worth it. Yeah, war room. Yeah. Number 3, self-anger, which is projected outwardly. Now that's the problem my brother had. Yeah, page 14. No, page 13, bottom. Self-anger,
We're on page
which
14.
okay, self-anger, which is projected outwardly. So one of my brothers, he hated who he was, and so that self-hate, it just like in everybody he talked to, just hate, hate, hate. So it was this self-anger, and he projected it on other people. It's like the guy that goes to work and the boss yells at him. So then he comes home and yells at his wife, and then the wife yells at Johnny, and then Johnny, you know, kicks the dog, and then the dog chases the cat, and then the cat eats the mouse, you know. So it's being dumped on. You know, sometimes people dump on us, and we need to learn how to give it to Jesus, because otherwise I'm going to dump on somebody else. It's this self-projection.
My dad told us that's the chain reaction.
Chain reaction. Absolutely happens a lot. Yes. Number 4, past emotional experience, like an extreme reaction due to past emotional experiences. I had so many of those. Like I told you, you know, someone tapped me on the shoulder and it's like the end of the world. I would freak out because I was in pain already. Number 5, making assumptions rather than checking things out. So I was told most of my life that I was a mistake and I wasn't wanted. So when I was 15 years old, I went to my mom and I said, Mom, like, is that true that I wasn't wanted and that I was a mistake? And she tried to make a joke out of it, like, oh, well, what could I do? I can't send you back. And I thought she was reinforcing it. Like I thought she meant, yeah, that's true, but what could I do? I can't send you back. Years later, now if I would have clarified it, instead of making an assumption, I would have saved a lot of heartache. Years later, somehow this got, you know, was in our topic of conversation. And what she meant was, of course I love you. Like I wouldn't send you back. Like that's what she meant, but I took it, well, what could I do? I can't send you back. I was like, oh, you'd send me back? Like, see, if I would have clarified it, and you know the definition of assumption, right? I won't say it, but assumption is the lowest level of knowledge. And so if you think somebody is saying something, clarify it. Don't just assume that that's what they're saying. Yes?
Sure. Can you pass?
With the assumptions, I think
Yes.
why we sometimes don't clarify in those moments is because, like in that moment, right, you'd be so vulnerable that you already
Yes.
feel crushed. That if
Yes.
you tried to verify, and
Right.
in this case your mother, said what you thought was the
Right.
truth, then you'd really be
Yes.
even further undone, I think.
Absolutely.
So it's such a vulnerable thing sometimes,
Vulnerable.
which is probably why we revert to assumptions. So how can you get past it? I know, like, we'd have to get our strength and identity from the Lord to probably bring clarification in those things, but I think that's why a lot of us are like, you know what, I'd rather just not get the truth because the truth might kill me, like,
Right. Oh, yeah,
emotionally,
absolutely.
and just hope that it's not, but
Yeah.
then we don't clarify.
Oh, for sure. Like, this is risky business doing this. And for me, I would want to know. Like, even if the truth was that was true, at that point, I wanted to know. So sometimes the truth hurts. Yes,
I was just
Oh.
gonna say, sometimes it's,
Mike?
good just to put like a little bit of time between, you know, that initial comment and then,
Sorry, could you just repeat it one more
Yeah,
time, please?
sorry.
Thank you.
for myself, I'm just saying, sometimes it's good to put a little bit of time between what the person says and then maybe come back 20 minutes later and just say, so I'm kind of feeling a little bit hurt right now, I'm just wondering, and kind of clarify it that way, or maybe say it a different way, but just kind of put that little bit of time,
Absolutely.
sometimes.
Good suggestion. Just have a little bit of time. Because I know some people are more process orientated. Like, if something happened, like if somebody's asking me, to make a decision, I'm better to say, I'll let you know the answer tomorrow morning. And if I go home and I have a good sleep, in the morning, I know the answer. I might not know right then and there. So some people are more process orientated than other people, and sometimes you have to kind of think about it.
That's what I was
Okay,
gonna say.
all right. And you wanted to say?
Well, I was just gonna say that, what if
Here,
you're asking your
microphone,
husband if he thinks you're fat?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good point.
Yeah.
Okay,
Say that again.
let,
What if you're asking your husband if he thinks you're fat, or if you
Right.
put on weight?
okay, good question. All right. So what we're talking about here is truth. And we're talking about safe environment. So the Bible says, speak the truth in love. All right. So if I come to my husband and I say, hi, honey, you like my hairdo? Do you think these clothes make me look fat? Okay. Now, what's going to happen to him if he says what he feels? Is he going to be on the couch for the next week? Right? Is he going to be on a fasting? Yeah, he might be with the Lord, right? I mean, and so that's one thing to consider. What's going to happen to you if you speak the truth? And the other thing to consider is, do I really want to know the truth? Like, why am I setting him up? Like, why am I asking him, oh, honey, do you think these clothes make me look fat? Well, what do you say? Like, he's going to be in big trouble, maybe, if he says what he would like to say.
But you could paraphrase.
Yes?
You could Alice, do you want the truth, or do you need to be lifted up today?
Exactly. When I was teaching Toastmasters for years, like it took me 18 years to learn Toastmasters and to learn how to speak in front of people. And then I ended up teaching public speaking at the university, which was amazing. So I would ask people, when it came time to evaluation, I would say to them, on a scale 1 to 10, how honest do you want me to be? So, number 1, you did great, no mistakes. Number 5, you did this, and this good, but you should work on this and this. Or 10, your teaching sucks. 10, this, you had 30 ahs, you had 30 ums and ahs in a 1-minute talk, because when I first went to Toastmasters, it was like 10 out of 10 evaluation. Like I came home crying all the time. It was too severe for where I'm at. I mean, I'm learning how to play Mary Had Little Lamb, and they're expecting me to sound like Beethoven. Like, I just wasn't there. And eventually, I realized that, and eventually I went to a different Toastmasters that was more kind of in the 5 area, and that was better for me. So if you really want to know the truth, do you? Like, do you want 10 out of 10? Can you? Yeah, yeah.
I'll tell you if you
It might hurt your feelings, and can you handle it? And there's a lot of growth and change. And again, what do you tell yourself about that feedback? Oh, I'm a loser. You know, I'll never change. Or, okay, my teaching sucks. Well, let's work at that. Can you give me some constructive ideas in how I can change? Yeah, they said, you know, maybe we could do some of the work. You know, maybe you could ask us questions. Maybe this, maybe that. And I started implementing all the different things that they, because, you know, these guys, I had them like 3 to 6 months, every day, Monday to Friday. Like, you know, that's a lot. And so I discovered they could have like maybe an hour of lecture and then they're done. And actually, lecture is the lowest form of learning. So they taught me how, I mean, today we're limited. That's why we're just basically doing lecture. But if you have somebody every day, Monday to Friday for 6 months, you're not going to last long just doing lecture. So they taught me, and it was amazing. So, yeah. So don't make assumptions. Talking yourself into anger. Absolutely. Talking self into being angry by building scenarios. You know, I had these scenarios in my head. Oh, so I'm a loser, eh? My teaching sucks, and yeah, why don't I just pack in my bags and forget it, eh? Or, my teaching sucks. Jesus, do you want me to teach? Yeah. Okay. Well, my teaching sucks, but can you help me? Yep, I'll help you. And you know, even when I took Toastmasters, 18 years, oh, that was painful. But I had to tell myself, yeah, good girl, you remembered what you're going to say. Yeah, good girl, you didn't turn all red in the face. Yeah, good girl, you looked at people. Yeah, good. Like I had, like David, right? They wanted to kill him. And what does it say? He encouraged himself in the Lord. So what you tell yourself, the self-talk, it makes a big difference. You can talk yourself into anger, or you can talk yourself out of anger. It's our choice. Believe that mistreatment is intentional. You know, I believe there are people in my life that their mission is to make my life miserable. And I had to just get that out of my head, that to stop believing that this mistreatment is intentional. Number 8, inflexibility. Not willing to look at other possibilities and options. You know, people get angry. You know, it's my way or the highway. Just do it the way I said, and you wouldn't have all these problems. Like they're inflexible. Or overreaction. It's a prior buildup of stress during the day which causes an overreaction. That's why I go for walks. That's why I go, you know, play in the garden all day. Just this this buildup of, you know, listening to people's problems, and it's like, you know, just this buildup of stress, and to just learn to release it to the Lord. So root causes of anger. Number 1, injustice. That is so unfair. Like, nobody needs to be treated like that. Strife. They're not at peace with self. Impatience. I want what I want right now, and I'm tired of waiting for it. What do they say about, Lord, I want patience and give it to me right now? No, don't pay for patience. Yeah. You got it, Toyota. Pontiac. Number 4, abuse of any kind. You know, it's a root of anger. Feels so unfair. Unmet needs. Well, I'm going to take matters in my own hands and, I'll take care of it. No, you release it to God. Release it to God. Let God fight the battle for you. Jealousy. How come others are so blessed? Yeah, I used to have a bad problem with jealousy. So there's 5 phases of anger. Number 1, the trigger phase. So being aware of what has triggered you in the past can help you change or avoid potential outbursts. So I had so many triggers. So one time we're at this Christmas banquet of 200 pastors, and we're playing this pleasant game of get a gift, or you can take someone's gift or get another gift. Well, I really liked my gift. I got a $20 gift card at House of James. Yeah. The very last person, a pastor's wife. Do you believe it? She stole my gift. Well, did I ever get triggered in front of 200 leaders, Christian leaders, that, we're all perfect. We never have any problems. Well, who does she think she is, and what kind of pastor's wife is that? And I'm all angry and red in the face, and, I had everybody's attention. Bob is like, well, I think we better go home now. Bye, everybody. See you later.
Pastor's wife getting killed.
Well, I'm at home, and I am so angry. I can't even sleep. Who does she think she is and stealing my gift? And that was my gift, and I'm so mad. And so the next morning, we had to go to a prayer meeting. Ooh, how fun. As if I feel like going to any stupid prayer meeting. And I'm sitting there, and I'm so angry, I can't even pray. And this friend of mine, she comes up to me, and she says, are you okay? And I just burst out in tears. No! Somebody stole my gift! And I'm just bawling. I'm so upset. And she puts her arm around me, and she says, when you were a little girl, did people steal from you? Well, can I tell you a story? And instantly I just kept getting these flashbacks of things that I weren't even aware of. One was I was maybe 6 years old, and somebody gave me a banana, and my brother says, oh, can I have a bite? And so I give him a bite. He took 3/4 of my banana, and I'm left with a little stub of banana. You could say, it's a banana. Like, I'll go buy you a whole bunch of bananas. But it was that feeling of being violated. And so the reason I was acting like a 2-year-old is because it was happening since I was 2. And there was this buildup of people taking from me, and now that poor pastor's wife, if one person takes anything from me, I'm going to give it to you. Well, she got it all right. Lord have mercy. Oh. So this lady, she explained to me how you Pray and
Alice
how
is so
you
loving now.
forgive. How you forgive those people that hurt you, and how you release it to the Lord. So it was a great lesson. So I learned all those things of how to release it to the Lord, how to give it to Jesus. And I wrote a book on healing choices, and I talk in extensive detail how to deal with past hurt and triggers and pain. And so then, about a year later, we're going to family reunion, and they said, yeah, we're going to play a game, steal the gift. And I'm like, oh, help me, Jesus. And I'm thinking, I didn't do so good last time I played this
See
game.
if she's healed.
Oh, Lord. And
Otherwise, I'm gonna run
they
away.
said, the way we're going to do it is we're going to start with the youngest. Well, that's the worst, and I'm the youngest. So I'm like, oh, help me, Jesus. So I ended up getting a really nice gift. Well, within the third person, it got stolen. So then I picked another, I got a really nice, So the Lord was helping me to pick really nice gifts. I got stolen from 10 times. And it was funny. It's like, okay, who's going to steal from me? Oh, that's the third time I got stolen. Oh, that's the seventh time. That's the 10th time I got stolen from, And at the very end, I got stolen from again. And then I got to pick whatever gift I wanted. And I'm thinking, where's all the good gifts? People actually took their gift and put it in the car. Some people took their gift and they put it in their purse.
So unfair.
And I'm trying to, and all these other people, oh, have this. And, of course, you didn't want any of those gifts, right? And all I can remember was a cup. And I looked at one lady and I said, well, do you have the cup? And she says, no, it got stolen from me. And she says, my sister took it. And so I looked at her and I said, do you have the cup? She was hiding it under her dress. And I thought, wow, I'm not the only one that has an issue with getting stolen from. And I thought, isn't that interesting? Because sometimes you go through problems, and this crazy lie, I'm the only one that has problems. Everybody else has it all figured out. They don't. We don't. That is such a lie. We all have so many problems. And so be aware of what has triggered you in the past and get healed from it. Because I guarantee that's going to happen again until you get healed from that. So that's called the trigger. Want to know what happened? What? She did. She actually gave me the cup with tears. Yeah.
Tears were in the cup.
She, what? No. You know what? I kept the cup, and it's a momentary, what do you call that? When like a trophy? Like that I was healed. Memento. Yes.
Hey, memento.
Every time I see that cup, I remember my healing of being free from. Yes?
Did you make amends with that pastor's wife?
Yes.
Oh yeah, she's one of our best friends. She was then too.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah. And another thing about the trigger phase, one time I looked at a dog, like I saw a dog was walking in front of me, and I started crying. And I thought, what's the matter with me? Like, I got triggered by seeing a dog. And I thought, what? That is so weird. And I asked the Lord, I said, wow, like, what's that? Like, why am I getting triggered just to see a dog? All of a sudden I had a flash, like, by the way, I can't remember my childhood, anything from 15 and under. It was just nothing. Can't remember. And one of my counselors says, oh, that's a problem. And I'm like, Why is that a problem? He said, because you've had a lot of hurt and pain, and so your mind just shuts down and you don't remember anything. And so he said, that shows that you've been abused and that you have a lot of trauma in your childhood. And so anyway, I saw this dog, and so I asked the Lord, like, you know, what's going on? Like, why am I crying? And the Lord gave me a flashback. I was about 3 years old, and I was sitting on the stairs outside our old house, and the dog was comforting me. Like, I was crying, and the dog came, and I was like crying with the dog. And so I phoned my two older sisters. They're like 12 and 13 years older than me. And so I said to the one, when I was little, I said, did I cry with a dog? And she says, all the time. And to make a long story short, what happened was when I was little, my mom was very sick. And my one sister, she had to take care of me. Well, she's 13, and I'm a newborn. And you have to cook, you have to clean, you have to take care of me and the other kids. Like, for a 13-year-old, like, you know. And so when she was 16, she could not wait to get out of there. And so when she finally left home, I was grieving her because she was like my mama. Like she was my caretaker. And I mean, I'm 3, you know, I can't verbally explain why I'm sad. And so my other brothers and sisters, you know, would call me crybaby, and they'd say, well, if you're going to cry, you just go cry outside. And so I did. So I'd go outside and I'd cry on the doorstep, like on the steps of the stairs, and then the dog would come to try to comfort me, right? And so the Lord revealed it to me. That was so powerful. And so again, you know, I forgave those people. You know, I forgave my sister for leaving me. I forgave my mom for being sick. I forgave my brothers and sisters for not understanding. You know, you release and you forgive, and you bring healing to that. Anyway, that's trigger. Then the second is the arousal phase. So this is where the body pumps adrenaline into your bloodstream, and your heart keeps beating faster and faster, and your blood pressure rises, and your voice increases, and you know you have muscle tension. Like it's amazing how anger really affects you physically. Now, stage 1 and 2, the trigger and the arousal, that's the best time to get issues resolved. But if it goes past that, do not try to resolve an issue once you reach this. So this is the crisis. So this is where the volcano explodes. Like, now I'm angry, blow up. So go for a walk, have a timeout. Do not, please, do not try to solve problems when you or the other person are at this phase. Your ability to become logical, it just flew out the window. It's gone. You have no ability to think straight. So please do not make a decision when you're in this phase. Then the 4th phase is the recovery phase, which takes time. And so this is where you summarize and acknowledge the situation. So assess future positive interaction. So you think about, wow, what just happened? And you summarize and you acknowledge the situation. Then number 5 is the depression phase. Assessment of what has just occurred, and it often leads to guilt, regret, depression. Again, this is not a good time to make a decision because you might agree to something that you might regret later on. So those are the 5 phases of anger. So we're going to have another break. And so I'll say goodbye to you online. And then we'll come back later for part 4, which is the last. God bless you.